What can I do? What can I do when I'm stuck inside you? This cell of ice and fire, what blood red death, lost and desire, smell of life.
Of course.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Not live in the studio, live in Ryan's room in Stowe, Ohio, because my town of Cleveland, Ohio, decided to have 9 freaking tornadoes and kill the whole town, and we have no power. We got a couple guests that are going to come on tonight, but some can't make it because they have no power, and I had to drive 40 minutes to get to power, but I am here. I am here to make this happen. One of our guests is in the waiting room right now. I just seen pop in. So, yeah. Freaking awesome.
Welcome to my dirty studio apartment bedroom / studio in progress. I just moved here, so I haven't set up all my shit yet.
So this is the best we can do to get this going tonight, but we are here for you tonight. So if you are in Cleveland, what's up, Karen? If you're in Cleveland, you know you ain't got shit to do. So turn on this podcast, share it with your friends, charge your phone in your car, and come and let's talk about Ohio Terror Con over there. I did it right this time. Ohio Terror Con, where the convention, if you look at the ticker below, Toxic Avenger cast, Night of the Demons cast, a couple of the directors from some of the films from the film festival will be on the night. Celebrities out the ass. It's going to be a great time. Brand new con. We need you to come out and support it. Get your tickets from Eventbrite, and if you use the code Big Bob, because Zach never took down the discount, so you can still get a discount by using Big Bob's code. Big Bob himself will be at the con.
That's right.
Bob Elmore,
former guest of ours,
friend of show. He is going to try. We're going to do a live podcast there. He might pop on that. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? We don't know. He's got a better idea than I do, though. He keeps telling me it's going to be okay. See, I'm like the nervous Nelly that doesn't really know what's going to go on, but.
Well, now that you're out here in person, we can actually sit down and start diagramming this tonight.
We might could.
It's not like you got anywhere else to go. Everything's fucking closed in Cleveland.
It's true. I got to go home and go to sleep. That's about it.
So, hey, it's one of the advantages now to living all the way out here and not back up near you like I used to.
Yeah.
I didn't lose my fucking power.
Yeah. The 9 tornadoes, man. None touched down in Cleveland, but they sure did some damage. A friend of mine, the back of her house got ripped off. Yeah. Not a roof, but the back of her house. I don't know how that works. Yeah. Nobody has power. There's 4-way stops. Nobody knows when to go, when to not go. It's a mess.
Well, that tornado that touched down in Parma, Ohio.
I
was at work when it happened.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You work in Parma. I didn't even think about that. How'd that go?
It was about a mile away from my store.
Mm-hmm.
The whole fucking store went pitch black for about 45 seconds, and then our backup generators came on, and then it just felt like we were trying to seduce everyone. The lighting was ambient.
Right on. All right, so we got a jam-packed show. We've got at least 6-7 guests that are supposed to come on, but again, the power situation, we don't know who's going to come on. We're going to get to our first guest. We're going to bring this guy in. This is Ed. Let's see, Ed. How you doing tonight, Ed?
Hey.
Good. How are you?
Doing great, man. A lot of chaos here in Cleveland. You are not in Cleveland, though, right?
I am not in Cleveland right now. No, I'm in Seattle.
Right.
I am an Ohio native.
Great. So come to Oregon. Nothing happens here. Karen says that's the goal. We're probably going to get up there. I'm thinking next year, and when we do, we're definitely going to hit you up because I want to go to the Stanley Hotel like so bad.
Well, Oregon, much closer to Seattle.
Yeah, much closer to this guy.
I want to go to Safeco Field. Is where I want to go. I'm a big baseball nerd, so.
So I took my family up to the I forget what it's called, the Stanley or the Overlook, right? And it's incredible having the room, seeing the mountain, and like it's the scene. It is one of the scenes in there, and you're like, it is awesome. It is fantastic, man. It is really cool up there.
Hell yeah! So Ed is a filmmaker. He has his film is one of the films that are going to be shown at Ohio Terror Con in the contest, right? Your film is being screened, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, awesome. And your film, and see, I talked to so many people. I hope I get this right. So your film was Bones, yes?
Yes, that is it. That is correct.
Cool. I just showed it to Ryan because he didn't have time to watch it, so I just showed it to him before we went on. Really cool concept, man. I really dug it. So, how long have you been into making films? Is this your first foray into it, or have you been doing this for a while?
About 3.5 years now. So I got. I'm from Ohio originally.
Oh, right on, cool.
I was trying to be a rock star in my 20s. I'm from Toledo, and
Oh,
we played Grog Shop. Grog Shop was one of our big shows we had there. Cleveland's fantastic. Surprisingly, that didn't work out in terms of making a living as a rock star. You know, you're gonna.
I know rock stars that have sold like million records, and they're having a hard time. You know what I mean? It's a tough business, man.
It is, man.
Like a friend of mine, he sold 1.5 million records, and you don't have $1.5 million.
Yeah.
one of those rock stars are in the comments right now. What's up, JP?
Oh yeah.
So I left film. I left. Make money doing life and all that jazz. But I found my way back to the creative arts about 3.5 years ago during COVID. I took a 15-week boot camp program at New York Film Academy.
Okay.
One of the silver linings, they offered a class online. It was a 15-week, just kind of very surface level. Here's how you do movies. And I had some old scripts I wanted to write, just need some structure. So I came out of that like, yeah, this is what I fucking want to do. Like that's a goal. Try to do this full time, writer, director, producer. But I got like a 7-year plan, man. And this is I'm on the front end of it.
Right on. So this isn't the first short film you made. You made others?
I have, yeah. I have
Okay.
probably about 10 under my belt at this point.
Are they available on YouTube?
Several of them. I'm a very big, so I got my foray into doing the first non-student one in the 48-hour film project. So, it goes on everywhere. I did that in 2020, and I was hooked. I was like, all right, let's do this. So I've done 7 consecutive 48-hour films there. This is not one of the 48. The funny thing is, actually, the idea of this was born out of the 48. We were kind of brainstorming, and everything was going to shit during one of our productions. It was like 7 p.m. on a Saturday, and our practical effects guy whispered in my ear, "We should have done this," and pretty much had the story idea. I'm like, God damn it, where were you yesterday, man? So,
Right on.
but I kept that idea and wrote the script about a year and a half later.
Cool.
We shot it, yeah.
It's one of those classic one thing leads to another moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're Subliminal Ed Films on YouTube, is that right?
That is correct. That's me.
Okay, I just subscribed, and I'm going to check out more of your stuff later.
Awesome.
I think that this short that you did, I think that if the right person's seen this, I think they'd want to. I think this could be a feature, for sure.
It could, yeah. I agree.
I mean,
because I want to know more.
3 minutes you can only do so much. But,
Yeah.
It was very well shot.
Yeah, there was one particular shot. I won't say what it is. That just sucked me right in. I told you.
Yeah.
I was just
So we
like,
don't want to put spoilers
it's
out.
like a perspective shot.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So he looks like a character that could be, definitely could be in a feature for sure.
Yeah, our goal was to it was literally 3 minutes. We were going you know what, let's do a 3 minute. Can we tell a story and have a contrasting dark versus light, but still tell a story within that 3 minutes? So that was the kind of challenge for this one, very specifically to try to see if we can pull that off. And such. So yeah.
You definitely succeeded with that.
See, that's the thing with me, man. With shorts, I always want to know more. I'm the guy. I demand to know everything. Just like that guy from the movie Blow. Remember?
I didn't see Blow.
What?
I didn't see Blow. All right, I didn't see Blow. All right.
Oh my god. Anyway, it's like, whose clothes are in the suitcase? Your clothes? What does it matter? It's fucking clothes. I demand to know everything. That's like the mindset I have. I need to know the backstory on everything.
Yeah.
We need real quick. We need a a 7-season like TV series now. Like, get on it.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm sure. $1 million per episode. He'll make that happen.
Well, as long as you get to 100 episodes, you get syndication, and then you're set.
That's it. So, did you? Were you always into horror, or?
Yeah, I mean that's where I definitely gravitate towards. I don't want to be like, as I'm making other films, you'll see some of the stuff. I have some comedies and things in there that aren't quite as good as what I want and stuff like that. But horror is where I gravitate towards. I mean, I saw The Exorcist when I was like 10. Terrified me. It scared the shit out of me. But like that was my gateway, man. And like, you know, my buddy and I, Walt Kriegel. I'm still friends with him. He lives in LA now, but we did Friday 13th marathons, and like this is when they were still coming out. I remember when Part 7 came out. I'm old, man. I remember when that came out. We went and saw it in the theaters and did a whole marathon before that and covered out. And yeah, horror's been a cornerstone for sure.
Right on. Yeah. See, the Exorcist is my 11-year-old daughter's second favorite movie behind Psycho. And she doesn't really like horror movies, but she swears that those are not horror movies. She swears Psycho and Exorcist are. I said these are two of the most classic, famous horror movies of all time, and they're rated two of the most scary movies of all time. And she swears they're not. I
That's hilarious. So
love them.
I have a 12-year-old daughter, and she's starting to get into horror, and we just watched Psycho and The Shining and Nightmare on Elm Street. And her order is Psycho, Nightmare on Elm Street, and then The Shining. She's definitely not a Kubrick fan, and like maybe it's maybe acquired, you know. But yeah,
I love The Shining. My daughter does not like The Shining. She because that's scary. That's one of the most scary movies, and Nightmare is easily the most scary movie of all time to me.
Yeah,
I still have nightmares about it today.
Yeah, Rick.
At 45 years old.
He does.
I mean, they're not as bad as when I was a kid, when I'm just like freaking out because I know they're a dream now. But it still happens on occasion. But I love it though. And I watch it at the anniversary of it. The 4K is about to come out. I'm definitely going to grab it.
We went to the theaters.
We went to the theater to see it. Yeah, and it's just amazing. Yeah, I love Wes Craven. Big Wes Craven guy. I like Kubrick, not as much as he does. He's a big Kubrick guy.
yeah,
all good stuff. So, are you going to be at the con or no?
I am not. I am unfortunately not going to be able to make it. I really want to. Like I said, most of my friends' family still in Ohio and stuff. So hopefully, I'm going to have some representative there. But I'm not able to make it this week.
Yeah, this is a brand new con. This is the first time this has been done. I'm hoping, I'm really hoping that it turns out good, because me and Ryan, if we want to go to a horror event, we got to drive 4, 5, 6 hours. So we're hoping that this pans out real well. We're hoping we do good at it, because we're booked to do a live podcast. Hopefully we can get some new followers and maybe get some recognition for some other conventions and get booked to do this in the future, because we really dig the horror thing. We really are having a good time doing this. And yeah, so hopefully it takes off, and hopefully everybody comes out, gets tickets the 16th and 17th, Strongsville, Ohio. Come and check out Ed's film. And Ed, I'm going to get you out of here because I got James down in the waiting room. I'm going to put him on and talk about his film, but Ryan wants to say something else before
Real quick, though, give your YouTube channel out again.
Subliminal Ed Films.
Right on.
Check it out. Subscribe, everybody. And watch those films. Give them thumbs up. Comment.
Right on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, thanks for taking the time, Ed. And I'll let you know how it goes. I'll send you a message after the con and let you know what the consensus in the room was.
Yeah, good luck. Absolutely. Thanks. I appreciate that. Good luck, gents. I mean, like, I think what got in there was someone posted on the Seattle Horror Filmmakers group, and every time I see something from Ohio come, fuck yeah, let's do it. So, yes, gents, have fun.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks, brother. All right, have a great day, man. Feel free to stay on and watch, you know. All right, take it easy, brother. Bye. All right, so that was Ed from Subliminal Ed Films. His short film Bones will be playing at the con, and we have another director, James. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce your last name, brother. Watching. I am going to attempt. Is it Watching? Did I do it?
You nailed it.
All right. Yeah. See. All right, man.
Yep.
And yeah. So how you doing, man?
Oh man, busy. We started out today with I'm working on a new book, so I started doing that in the morning. I took a PTO day. And
right
then we went right into editing and post prod this afternoon for the new short film. So called The Restless Few. So yeah, we've been just crazy busy. And I have 3 children. So
Oh yeah, I got a couple of those too. I got like 90 of them, I think. Yeah, a lot of them. I can't keep track of them. Yeah, no, he has none. I have 4. I have 4. 2 of them are grown though, but they're still headaches.
I got 2 toddlers and the 10-year-old, and he kind of keeps to himself. So
right on, yeah.
2 toddlers. I don't have time to do anything.
Yeah, it's hard.
I just have 2 cats, and I don't have time to do my hobbies.
you get really good with time management.
He looks like he's in the room with us. His
Kind
room
of does,
looks the
actually.
same.
It kind of does, actually.
I'm in my creative dungeon.
Yeah, as are we. It is where he makes masks and things. We'll be selling some at the con, probably. Hopefully, you got a couple made. Yeah, maybe. All right. So we're vending at the con, and we're also we're also doing a live podcast at the con, and we're going to be checking out some films, and that's where you come in. Your short film. Let's see. Yours was The D Word, right?
Yep, that is correct. Yep.
All right. Cool. Yeah, we just watched that right before we went on. I've seen it a couple times, but Ryan hadn't yet because I wasn't supposed to share that password with anybody. So, yeah.
See, I have friends in medium places.
Yeah, so he gets to see some stuff.
There you go.
So, are you going to be at the con on the 16th and 17th?
I can't guarantee it, but I'm going to try my hardest. So,
where are you from, James?
Indiana, like southern Indiana.
Oh, cool.
Like I can throw a baseball. I can throw a baseball about 4 or 5 times, and I'm in Illinois.
Oh, cool. Right on.
So yeah.
I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna say Cincinnati for a minute and be like, if you can throw a baseball 4 or 5 times, the Reds could take you.
Yeah, I know.
they need
I'm a
the
Cubs
help.
fan, so
Say again.
I'm a Cubs fan.
Oh,
okay, cool.
I'm a big fan of the
I could
Cubs.
probably make the Cubs.
I love the Cubs, actually.
I want to go to Wrigley Field so bad. I'm not a Cubs fan, but I am a baseball fan and a history fan. And, these 100-year-old stadiums aren't going to be there forever.
See,
and I got to get there.
It won't even be the same, though. I actually went the last year before they put that digital bullshit in there. When it was still the old school Wrigley, I went the very last year before they did it. And I'm so glad that I did. The only bummer, I went so early in the season, it was still April and the ivy hadn't grown out yet. So it was just
you gotta go.
It was just
summer and
See, I got to go when the ivy's there. So you got to make sure that we go in that.
Oh,
that
definitely
time.
go back. It's not the nicest park I've ever been in. I'm not going to tell a lie, but I've been to about half of the ballpark.
But just
I'm
the
a huge
history,
baseball.
the history of it.
It's my favorite ballpark I've been to.
I
agree. I'm
I
a
would
little
say-
biased though.
The best ballpark is PNC.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know if you've ever been there, but
It's beautiful.
Mm-mm.
it's only 20,000 seats.
It's bigger than that.
No,
Really?
I mean maybe a hair. It's not 30. Guaranteed, it's not 30. It's in between 20 and 30. I think it's on the lower end.
It's so beautiful. I have
It's
no
amazing.
I have no affinity or attachment to Pittsburgh or the Pirates.
Oh, I hate Pittsburgh. I'm from
but
Cleveland.
their stadium is just beautiful. I don't
I
know
hear
if
that
you're
a lot,
baseball guy.
though.
You're wearing a Cubs hat, so you got to be into baseball a little. So.
Yeah.
It's National League too, so there you go.
So when did you get into the making of the films?
August, 2023.
So you're new to this.
So I'm brand new. So
Oh,
August
wow.
2023.
That makes your film all the more impressive.
Me and my 9-year-old shot a short, and then we licensed it to Trauma Entertainment.
Oh, Trauma. They're gonna
Yep.
they have some representation, I'm sure.
Yep,
Since it's
we
the top
licensed the Trauma, so it's on Trauma now. It's called Shoes. So that was the first one. It made some film festival rounds, and then I started writing, I think, the D Word in November, right after we licensed it to Trauma, and then we filmed in January, and now it's just been running the film festival circuit since then. So,
right on.
oh,
Yes.
and we did manage to license it. I don't know if I can say the date on it yet, but it will be coming to Bloody Disgusting's Bloody Bites TV series.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know if I can say the date. It'll be late this year, early next. So
Yeah, you would think that they'd want you to say the date.
yeah, I don't know this. They haven't given me a solid date yet, but
Okay.
So
they gave me a close time frame to work in.
So in industry terms, you haven't been given a hard date.
That's right. Yep.
There you go.
So you didn't go to film school or anything like that. You just picked up a camera and decided to make movies.
I have a friend. He's a director. His name's Josh Lobo. He directed I Trap the Devil. It's on Hulu, I think, and Netflix. It was at one point. He kind of like motivated it because he was like, "Oh, just go start shooting it, start writing." And so I was like, "Okay." So, and then I just took off from there, and it's just been snowball all since.
So were you always into horror?
Oh yeah. Since I was like 6 years old.
Same with me. I mean, I was like 4 or 5 years old, going to the mom and pop video store and just renting all these movies that no 4-year-old had any business watching. But my children watch them too. So I mean, if my parents were horrible, so am I guess.
It's not easy for them though. They don't have to go to the video store.
Yeah, that's true.
I just hit a button and it plays, and they're going crazy now because we had a tornado. I keep wanting to say hurricanes. We don't do hurricanes in Ohio.
We did once.
Yeah, we had tornadoes rip through everything, and nobody has power, and that's why I'm down here at his house because I wanted to get this out for sure. But yeah, they haven't had power in 3 days at my house, and the kids they don't have internet, they don't have TV, they don't know what to do.
You're suffering just as much then.
Yeah. Oh well, I work like 15 hours a day, so. But I do Lyft most of the time, or not most of the time, but half the time. And then my store is actually without power, so I can't work at my store, my normal job. So I drive around doing Lyft, and every once in a while I'll pull in my driveway, beep the horn, and let them come out and charge their phones. All right, get out of here. I gotta go make some more money. So with this film festival thing, like so how does that work? You submit a film to them, and then they decide whether or not they're gonna play it, or do you know? I mean, I don't really know how this works.
Yeah, that's usually what it is. You get a selection after you submit it, and then you just kind of, I mean, you submit it, and then you just wait. It's usually a long wait for a lot of them. So we're still waiting. We submitted back in late February, and we won't hear announcements for a lot of them till next month.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. There's still about 10 or 12, I think, that we're waiting for, like bigger ones. So
yeah, so with this is a brand new con. It just starting. Zach is the promoter. He was going to be on with us, but he has no power. He has to drive 40 minutes just to get to any type of electricity too. So he's not going to come on with us. But I helped him as one of the judges. Like he sent me the link to all the films, and he's like, "Hey, watch these and grade them." And I did, for the most part, and gave him some feedback. And he picked the winners, so I had nothing to do with that. I just told him what I liked and what I didn't like. But I did like your film. I really did. I thought it was really cool, man.
I appreciate it.
I think it's just amazing to me how with the previous director that was on Ed, his movie was 3 minutes, yours was 5 minutes. How you can have a complete cohesive thought in such a short amount of time, like a beginning and an end, and like it's insane to me how that works.
You kind of approach it like you've already driven the car there.
Mm-hmm.
And you just pick up from there. So it's not so much the journey. You're already there. You just have to set the scene and work out of that context. It's a very tight, context to work out of. But
just like I was telling Ed, though, it's just me. It's just my point of view, though. I always want to know more. Like, how did we get there?
Yeah, how did we get there? Why is he doing this?
I don't necessarily need to know what happens next. I'm always just curious how we got there.
If you watch and pay close attention to the D word, I put a lot of little Easter eggs throughout, even in the dialogue. I'll just spoil a little bit of it for you. So in the opening of the film, the main character, the stranger, delivers a line, and then I had to play a part in it because I couldn't find anybody to take PTO on a Friday. So by default, like I had to be in the film even though I didn't want to be. But then I deliver that same line when I enter. And so if you pay attention, that's in there. There's some things in the background in the kitchen that kind of give some stuff away. But you have to kind of look for them. So yeah. So I like the almost like the Hitchcock approach too, where I don't show the violence as much. I like the
The
leave
implied
it to imagination approach.
and that definitely, sometimes that's better. A lot of times that's better. I mean, I like to see cool kills and stuff, but most of the movies that do have these cool, elaborate kills, and I love special effects, and those guys do a great job, and it's a lot. But most of the time, that is the substance of the film when they're doing that, and there's not really a whole lot to think about. I mean, I like that too, but I mean, I like a movie that I'm gonna have to sit down and think and try to just get trapped in the story. But like, I love Terrifier, but let's be frank. I mean, there's no story.
I was gonna say it's hard to compete with Terrifier or even In a Violent Nature now when it comes to kills. It's like
Yeah.
the on-screen kills are just so elaborate, and we shot D-Word with zero budget,
Of
$0,
course. Of course.
$0. So, so we had to make do with what we had, and it kind of played into the story anyway. So, I mean, we didn't need a big budget; we just needed a budget for pancakes, and that was about it. So.
So it was like probably one of your guys' houses it was shot in. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Right on.
Well,
So
at least you can serve like a dual purpose with that. You could eat them after the scenes.
eat the pancakes.
Our lead went through so many pancakes. Like, I don't think he can still eat pancakes now. Like he just.
That's
I would
great.
have been like, I would have been a diva if it was me. I'd be like, I'm thinking we're gonna go waffles today.
My wife was a trooper because she got up really early and started making like all the pancakes, prepping everything really early. And then, we had to mention, hey, don't clean up anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't clean up anything because we need it to look, for continuity reasons.
Like a freshly cooked in kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There was no arguments about that. So
no, of course not.
Right on. So are all of the movies that you shot shorts as well?
Yeah, we are working on starting the script for a feature. We've got a couple names interested. I think I can say one because they're verbally agreed. Nothing's in writing yet, but Brett Wagner, who was in The Crazies. Brett. If you mention my name, Brett will vouch for it. So
cool. Yeah, he's been on the show. He was one of our favorite guests. I mean, dude, it's just he's a riot, man.
Big Swag is the best, man.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
Brett's verbally committed. We've shortlisted a couple people. We've been in talks with like Felicia Rose to try to get her involved from Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah.
And then we shortlisted Zach Galligan from Gremlins and Waxwork.
Oh, there we go.
So
cool.
We haven't approached, but yeah.
Yeah, that's
a feature.
Definitely cool.
It's a little ways out, but it sounds promising. There's a couple other names from like Cronenberg film and stuff that we've been talking to.
He's a big Cronenberg guy. He likes him.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter, my 11-year-old daughter, we met Felicia Rose, and when she was about 8 years old, I'd say, she watched Sleepaway Camp for the first time, and within 2 minutes of the movie, she knew exactly what was going to happen at the end. Like, she knew the twist. Yeah, and Felicia was just blown away. She was like, how? And I was like, I don't know, but she did. Like, because I'm like, oh, she's going to be freaked out at the end of this. And she was like 2 minutes in, she was like, Daddy, that's the boy. The girl died. And, I'm like, how the fuck do you know that? But yeah, she did.
Raising her right. You're raising her right.
So, James, do you have a YouTube channel?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't. No.
Where can our people check you out at?
You can find us on Instagram at Toothbrain Productions. We try to keep a low profile because we've been moving the films to like distribution and stuff. So eventually we may go YouTube. But right now we're on Trauma. We're going to be on Bloody Bites, The Restless Few short, which is finishing post-prod this week. Who knows where it'll go in a year. So could be on Bloody Bites again. It could be on another, anthology series show. So, so yeah, we're trying to shoot in a different direction than maybe YouTube can give us. So And there's nothing wrong with YouTube. Some of the best like horror shorts I've seen
Oh
are
yeah,
on YouTube.
Whenever I got somebody on the show, I usually go through YouTube and just watch all their stuff. All their stuff, and it's a lot of fun. But right on. So I just followed you on the Instagram. So
awesome.
We got another guest that just popped into the feed down here. So we're gonna get you out of here, get him on here. There's something else I wanted to say to you before. Damn it. I don't remember. Oh, yeah. If you ever do and you or Ed still in the green room so he could hear me too. If either one of you guys are ever doing any crowdfunding things to get some of these movies off the ground, let us know. Send us a message and we'll promote it on our page and see if we can help with that. And we'll definitely do it.
Since you can still hear us too.
Yes.
You too, Ed.
But thanks a lot for coming on, James. And we're going to check out we already seen the film, but we're going to try to check it out again at the Terror Con. And hopefully you're there. We can meet you. And we'll let you know what people are saying about the film, give you some feedback about what people are saying. But we're going to get one of the vendors for the show on. We have Tiki from Talking Tapes coming on.
Thanks
I'm going to get you out of here. James. Thanks so much, James.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Right. No problem. Thank you. And bam! What's up, brother?
How's it going?
Oh,
I'm not a vendor, though. I'm a creative consultant. I'm one of the people who helped put the convention together.
Well, I know you did that, but I thought you had a table, too.
No, we're not vending. I'll be busy with I'm doing the trauma panel.
Oh, okay. Right.
Doing all of that. So I'll be busy doing stuff around there. I'm always on a bunch of side quests, so it's hard to tell whatever I'm doing ever.
So what is Talking Tapes? What is that?
Talking Tapes is my YouTube channel. So I bring my eccentric group of friends on once a week or myself, and we talk about obscure B-list movies from all eras. We talk about
movies.
A bunch of stuff. We talked about Dude Bro Massacre Party 3, Dude Bro Party, 3 this week. That was really fun with our buddy.
There is no 1 or 2. It's in 3.
It's just 3, man. It's a masterpiece.
It is good, dude.
That seems like a JP Cross kind of thing.
Oh, definitely a JP Cross movie.
Love it. The whole channel. The whole Talking Tapes, everything. Seems like something JP would love.
I'm also the owner of the Cleveland Horror Club.
Yeah. I follow that on what's Facebook. Oh, and I on a private chat. Like I never even look at this. Who's in here? See Ed. Oh, okay. Okay, right on. Oh yeah, he's crowdfunding now for a movie called Fire and Hope. We're gonna put that on our page and okay, cool. Yeah, I never even look at that thing. All right.
Never look at the private chat?
No, not really, because there's usually not nobody else on. Yeah. You don't send messages to the private chat.
I'll check it out. You're married. You don't need to be up in the private.
No, not that. I have a chat for the. Oh Jesus freaking Christ! But yeah, so you do a podcast with the guy running the Zach. Something about weed and watching movies.
It's called the Doobies and Scary Movies podcast. So the way that works is obviously I run Daystar 2. That's where this is being filmed out of the back of here in West Ohio.
Yeah, right there in Lorraine.
Yeah, so they're our sponsor and everything. 15798 Lorraine Road. Come see me. Glass that kicks ass. But we basically invite celebrities on and we get as high as we can and try to see if we can interview people.
Off of legal marijuana now.
It's 100% legal. So some episodes are really good and the guests know how to deal with us very well. And some of them are they're not as into it when they see a giant bong come onto the screen. And then they have to listen to me and Zach cough for 3 minutes into a microphone. But
Ed looks like he'd be having fun watching.
I listened to a couple of them, but most of the time I listened, it was just you two. I heard the interview you did with Walter Phelan. That was pretty cool.
Oh, Walter was a great guy. So all of the stuff on Spotify is a little bit old. We do a different format now where it's a live show over on YouTube.
Right.
After the convention, it'll be coming back better with like editing and highlights on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah,
but for right now,
I don't know how to do any of that shit. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. We just go raw, just like this.
I just learned last week. I started my YouTube 12 days ago, and I didn't know how to edit a video when I made the page.
Oh,
And I got fully edited videos and
I
stuff.
don't know nothing.
Rick always liked to do it raw, though. That's why he's got so many kids.
It happens. It happens to the best.
It's surprising I'm able to do this because I collect VHS tapes. I'm kind of like a gorilla when it comes to technology. I have a box TV in my living room, so if I can get past looking at just porn on my phone, I'm pretty proud of myself.
I like this guy. Definitely have to come say hi at the con.
I'll be there.
He looks like he smoked right before he came on this show.
I
forgot that was a thing.
I definitely did.
Kieran said, "What's it called again? The channel? I don't know if we said, but it's I forgot already. Doobies and porn. No, not Doobies.
My YouTube channel is Talking Tapes.
Yeah.
Talking Tapes, and the other thing is the Doobies.
The Doobies and Scary Movies podcast.
Oh, right on! Wow. Yeah. So have you ever been involved with putting on a convention? Is this like the first venue as well?
Before we and Zach got into this, the Cleveland Horror Club used to throw bi-monthly punk shows. 3 punk bands and a horror movie. And
I wanted to go to those, and I never could make it, man.
They're a blast. I'll be bringing them back. It's just with the Terror Con coming up, we took a little hiatus from those.
Yeah,
but
and you guys be doing those. They go so late, but I was gonna tough it out.
Yeah, they go to about 2 a.m.
Right.
Yeah. And then there's usually an after party. They get a little crazy sometimes. The horror nerds like to party.
Yeah, and that's great because like I would like to meet like-minded people. I met Zach for the first time at you guys were doing the zombie walk deal in Lakewood at that concert venue. What's it called? Where they got the really good wings?
Foundry?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Associated with the wings.
See, shout out to Trevor Love. He's the
But yeah, they were doing the zombie walk thing, and I took my kids up there, and they got made up like zombies, and they looked really good. And then we went to we were going to a haunted house that day, so we couldn't stay for the actual walk part of the thing. But I met him up there. He was selling DVDs, and so I actually bought a DVD from him.
Horrible side business.
Yeah. I talked to him for a while, and that's how I met him. And so then when I seen he was doing this, me and Ryan got really excited because we usually have to travel 8 to 10 hours to go to a con. You know, like there's nothing to close.
We did
Slam, but you know, we didn't even know that existed until 2 years ago.
We went to Horror Hound, and
yeah,
me and Zach are very overly cocky people in some sense. And we walked around, and we started staring, and we're both ate so many edibles in the parking lot. We're bumping into people, and we just walked outside. He lit a cigarette, and he's like, "I bet you we could do this." And it started as a joke, and then the next thing I know, Zach booked 20 guests, and I was like, "Well, we're throwing a fucking convention.
We're doing this, right?"
And Zach has done wonders with it, putting it together. A great selection of guests. We make a lot of jokes because my favorite movie is Toxic Avenger. So
nice.
he booked the whole cast, but I also have the Jackass logo tattooed across my stomach.
Nice.
So he booked Bam Margera, and he jokingly called me that day, and he goes, Merry Christmas. I don't have to get you a Christmas gift this year. I brought all your favorite celebrities to town.
Right? No doubt, right?
Yeah, I was like, all right.
Nice
Hell yeah.
Oh, dogs are going nuts. We want to edit that out, but we don't know how.
But we're live anyway.
Yeah, I'm saying for later when I put it on iTunes. Sounds like a dog's dying up there. All right. So so we're doing a live podcast at the show, and we're really not even sure how that's going to go, but it's going to be fun. And we got a booth there too for a vendor. We're going to be selling some different trinkets and things. One of the other vendors for the show was supposed to come on. Ted's Bubblegum Emporium. You know?
Oh yeah, Ted's stuff is badass. We've seen him at a couple of conventions.
What's that? Did somebody just?
Ted's
Speaking of which, he just messaged me. Can't get any service, please again. Oh yeah, no problem. He wherever he's at, he's in Arizona and can't get any service, so he can't come on. We were just talking about you.
Like a a lot of people in our area still have no power.
See you next week. All right, this is riveting, I'm sure.
It is. Texted right on the
All right, there you go. But yeah, no, Ted's stuff's amazing. I seen him at when I went to meet Art the Clown, he was vending in front of Screamers in Detroit, which is an awesome place if you've ever been there. It's Halloween stores.
That's awesome.
And yeah, his stuff's just really, really cool. I want to get one. I just don't know which one and how much money they run. What do you say, like $200 for the one?
Yeah, they're like 200, 250. Because I almost bought the Jaws one when I saw it. I was like, "Oh, this
that one. I like that
badass."
One. And then they had the trick or treat guy, Sammy. Yeah. Sam. They had a life size Sam gumball machine thing, and so he'll be bringing those to the con. There's gonna be a hell of vendors. You know how many vendors are gonna be there?
I honestly not off the top of my head.
Right, on a lot. Tons of good vendors with good shit for you to purchase. We're going to be selling some things. Like I got like hats, and then I got like what's it called? The lament configuration from Hellraiser. I got a couple of those to sell. My friend Rosa, who's usually here in the comments, I didn't see her today though. She makes all kinds of real cool handmade horror stuff. She's going to be actually running the table while I'm running around doing whatever the hell, and she's going to be selling her stuff too. And it's just going to be a really good time, man. We're really looking forward to it. I'm really hoping that it sells well so we can get a second one.
Well, we already booked, and in the plans, we have Erie Culture Con coming up.
I see
which
that.
Already has a good portion of guests announced, so everyone tuned into that. I was saying we, like I'm the one who's planned any of this, but I don't. I merely am just Zach's best friend.
Right.
So,
like, definitely involved.
Like the royal we.
Yeah.
And right now, Zach was supposed to be on with us, but as you know, we had tornadoes all over the place, so he can't.
He has sat at my work He sat at my work for 2 hours today on the Wi-Fi, just because he had nothing to do. He's like, I just need to interact with humans.
I hear that, man. I just been working because nothing else to do.
Another cool thing,
house.
If you guys are looking at the con, Zach has my lighting's.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see those. I'm gonna put one of those up on Friday or Saturday.
Definitely.
When we go,
they are badass. The t-shirts are nice, but I'm sorry to cut this short, guys. I actually have to head out of here.
That's what we're doing, just like kind of quick hits with everybody.
I got to open the bong shop back up. So.
All right, brother. Thanks for coming on, man. We'll talk to you soon.
No problem. Have a great one, dudes.
All right. Bam. All right, so that's hopefully power on soon. What is it? All my other neighbors around in the area just got theirs on. Well, hopefully your area is close to my area. What's up, Kevin? Happy birthday. I know it's like 2 days ago. Spooky picture show. Spooky horror. I fucked it all up.
Spooky picture show.
I had it. I doubted myself.
That's why
I doubted myself.
That's why I dangled the carrot.
Yeah, so I was talking to somebody on his page because on their last show, they were saying if anybody would like to come on and do a guest spot, hit us up. So I hit them up. And we might be going on to talk some Fulci. So, because, recently I'm turned into a Fulci nut.
Yeah, you.
So, yeah, I just got a new one the other day, Perversion Story.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's different, man. It's I don't know it'd be one of those movies where you wouldn't call it a horror movie. You wouldn't call it a horror movie.
I'm more strict on that than most, though, as we learned when we were speaking to
right on. Thanks for coming on, man. It's a run, but yeah. If you want to watch this again, this will be we'll post this on. It's going to be on YouTube. It's on Facebook already, and we'll post it to iTunes as soon as I get home and do that. But I think,
do we tap out on Spotify altogether now?
I can't figure out how to get on because they changed some stuff and the sign-in's different, and it's all good. Oh yeah, sorry to hear that, Rebecca. Yeah. So so crazy. So we had a couple people on. We're 45 minutes in. Bill Perry was supposed to come on, man.
Yeah.
He big timed us.
He did.
Looks like it.
Must be a friend of Brian Emmenizer.
Might be.
But while we're sitting here holding our dicks,
it says he's active on the Facebook. So
interesting.
Maybe he can't figure out how to do the stream.
He's not active on here.
All right. But
I got something.
Oh, you want to do your box?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do your box.
Rick likes to do this.
Yeah.
But today
The kids open boxes on the Facebook and the YouTubes.
I got a box.
So he has a box, and that's what the kids do is they open them.
And it says priority on it.
Priority.
Must be important.
Yeah.
I can't show the top of that because it's I don't care about my address, but a very famous person in this community actually sent me this. So.
Yeah, we don't want to give out people's personal information here. That's frowned upon.
That's his shoot address on there too, even though his shoot name isn't on there. that is his home and not his PO.
Right on.
So yeah.
Yeah, TU, great talking to you too, brother. We need everybody to get those tickets for Ohio Terror Con 16th and 17th. To come out and see us. Come out and see the films that are going to be on there. Celebrity guests. We really need this thing to be a success so we can get more of them.
That's right.
We got a piece of cardboard.
Ooh, what is in here? This is just, I don't know. This might be icing on the cake right here.
The icing on the cake.
I'm not even sure what's in this, actually. I'm pretty sure what's in there.
So the guys from the Spooky Picture Show have started to go to a twice-a-month format. Really digging that.
Oh, some sandpaper.
We got to get them up to once a week.
Ah! Let's see what this is. Oh, a little extra. And this might spoiler the rest of the box, but looks like we got some nice chevrons.
Chevrons. That's a cool word. I never knew that word until you started making hockey masks.
Yeah, these are nice vinyl ones.
Dig that one. Yeah.
It looks like some 5s and some pre-cut 4s. Although I typically like to get 3s and cut them myself, but I like the way he does his 4s. So there's that.
So for those of you that don't know, and most of you do know, Ryan makes masks.
I attempt from time to time.
The 2 that you can see in our background were made by him. 3 in our background. There's a 3rd one there.
It looks like we have some future
masks.
Some future paint wearers in here.
And we'll be selling some of these at the con.
These are not the cheap, flimsy Chinese plastic little thin spirit.
They're not
Halloween
those $6
bullshits.
jobs or whatever. No, these are actually
you can
good
feel
ones.
these are PVC. You can squeeze it a little. It's got a
These
little
are not going to break. They're going to hold up real well.
When they come in this bag, they're good. When they come loose, they're no good. So yeah, I got me some more of these babies right here. And I'm going to be painting a lot this week. So that's pretty much what that was about.
Right on.
We're going to have part 5s, some part 4s, maybe some part 3s at the table. Because I like, old Jason.
Right on.
Human Jason.
Do you know
Jason.
how much you're going to charge for those, or you don't know yet?
Not sure.
Not sure. Okay.
It'll be affordable.
It'll be affordable. All of our stuff will be affordable. And speaking of Bill Perry.
Wow, I timed that just
Look
right.
at
Didn't
that.
I? What a segue.
Did. He just popped in. And we have Bill Perry in the house.
Hey guys, how's it going, man?
Hey man, how's it going? Just doing this quick preview for Ohio Terror Con. You're the last guest of the day, the guest of honor, the main event.
It's the headliner.
The headliner. I mean, he should go last, know.
That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, so we just had a giant...
There might be a bigger name there, but nobody's going to have as much fun as me.
Right on.
Well, you're the only person that's going to be there that scored a touchdown in the 85 Bowl.
But they think of me as more the thermos.
Yeah, we were looking up.
I'm more of a little drink box in comparison.
We were looking up on IMDb, and on IMDb, where it has other facts about the person. It says something about it's got some refrigerator fact. I don't remember what it was.
I actually used to get checks that belonged to him because he was making movies and TV shows at the same time I was, and so they sent me this big check, and I'm like, thanks. And they're like, you weren't on the A team, were you? I'm like,
no.
So, and $2,500 is lunch money for that boy. So I wasn't taking that money. But one of the things I learned from his agent was he had the most expensive Super Bowl ring of all time because his fingers are so big, you can drop a 50-cent piece through his Super Bowl ring.
It would have
I
more
heard
gold
that, yeah.
on it. Yeah.
And
They
I don't know about you, but I got nothing big around as a 50-cent piece anywhere on my body.
They
Not
had
my
his
leg,
thing out on
not my
display at
waist,
the mall.
nothing. So
Mhm.
anybody that's got that kind of swinging thing is going to get his money. Am I going too blue for this show? Have I already violated all the?
Oh, no.
Oh, we're all good, man. We're all good, man.
No. We
So who else you had? You had anybody else? Who else was here?
Today was we got some filmmakers and we got some vendors and we got we just had tornadoes all over Cleveland, so nobody has power.
Yeah, you guys have been without power and shit too.
Right, so I'm like 40 minutes away from Cleveland at his house doing this. Usually I'm at my house and I have my studio with all the cool stuff in the background and stuff. So yeah, so a couple of the people like that couldn't get on because of that.
Let me ask this. If a tornado was to completely devastate Cleveland, would anyone know?
Probably not. That's
Yeah,
happening.
everybody's got a Cleveland joke, you know.
Are you familiar with Xenia, Ohio?
What's that?
Are you familiar with Xenia, Ohio?
No.
There's a movie
Gummo.
There's a movie called Gummo, and it takes place in Xenia, Ohio. It's from the guy that did Kids.
Harmony Korine.
All right, and it takes place in Xenia, Ohio. Now, Xenia, Ohio was leveled completely by a tornado, and so in the movie, it's like it's been rebuilt over time, and like all the people in this town are like inbred and all screwed up. It's not a horror movie, but it's shot like a documentary, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird.
It is weird, dude. It is the worst movie. It's voted worst movie ever made.
Wow.
I promise you, if you turn this movie on, you will watch the whole thing and you will curse my name for having you watch it.
Don't watch it.
But you will watch the whole thing. You won't be able to turn it off.
You just got to know what happens. Yeah.
You got to know. And then afterwards, you're like, what the hell is this?
I have been to, this will be my third time in Ohio in like 18 months. I tell you, I could move there in a heartbeat. Really? It is so different and so lovely that you guys, people, always love to bag on Ohio as a whole state.
Yeah.
But I have been there a couple of times already, and I have had so much fun there. The nicest people, like makes Canada look like Russia. The people are so nice.
Man, he's really putting
this over. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people. Oh, don't you know? They're just fabulous, don't you know? Everybody has been so fun. And the greatest horror community. I mean, I look at these ones in like Pennsylvania's got a huge community. Out here in Los Angeles, pretty good community. But the people there were so into it, had so much fun. And I was like one of my buddies said, "Why are you going back to Ohio? This is like 3 times. Aren't they sick of you yet?" And I said, "I don't know if they are or not. I'm going. I'm going to have a good time with this. So I am so stoked to be coming. I'm going to have a good time.
Cinema Wasteland? Is that why you're out here?
I've got Cinema Wasteland coming up in April.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But I did Monster Fest Mania, and what's the other one?
Horror Hound, probably Horror Hound. Cincinnati Horror Hound.
No, not Horror Hound. It was another small one, another one-day, very small show. So small. I'm 5'6", so they did a really small show. Only hunchbacks and people who could slide under a door were allowed. I did a couple of shows there, and they're just one-day shows, but they were just fun. People were very, very enthusiastic. They know their shows. I mean, when I first did these, I was like, is anybody even going to know or care what I've been in? But when they came out, they're like, dude, and they know my resume better than I do. And
you were in some of the biggest
my poster.
I know you.
Yeah. One of the guys brought me a poster from Predator 2, and he goes, "Can you sign right next to Bill Paxton?" And I was like, I don't feel worthy of that, And he's like, no. The subway scene is my favorite scene in the whole movie. I'm so into this. And it was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Because like he had people who weren't even alive on that poster.
Yeah.
So I really felt honored, just to be a part of it. And that's what I love about the community. People, they know their movies, they're excited about them, and they want every signature they can get. because it's not complete without it.
You
And
can
it's fun to be part of that.
You can sign right next to Bill Paxton, but don't you dare sign next to Maria Conchita Alonso.
You want to hear my awesome Maria Conchita Alonso
Yes,
story?
We definitely do. Yes, we do.
So we're doing the show, and Maria had done something really bad to her shoulder. I'm not sure if it was on the show or she just had an injury, but they said, okay, you're going to get thrown on top of Maria by the Predator. So they get a stunt girl, and I'm wearing these big steel-fronted biker boots, and I'm all metal and chains and all this other stuff, and I clean out the poor stunt girl. There's nothing I could do. They literally threw me through the air sideways. I have no control over where I'm going, and I completely just lay this girl out like a halfback, getting cleaned out in the backfield. So they said, okay, now we're going to swap places. So Maria gets down there and she says, be very careful when you lay on top of me. And I'm like, I'm always careful when I lay on top of a woman. And she says, they said, now, Maria, you're going to need to get him off of you. And she said, do you think I could get you off with one hand?
Yes, you can.
Now, if you're going to set the pins up for me, you got to expect me to knock those pins down.
Right.
So I said, well, I think you're gonna need to buy me a drink. And there's this long pause where she's looking at me, and then it makes it around the room.
It's great.
Actually, these were before the days where I would be sent to HR for such a line. And when she finally got it, she just rolled her eyes like, God, such a typical dude, But it was like, come on. Can you get me off with one hand? I've always done it with one hand myself, So yeah.
I can't wait for this con, man.
Yeah, this is gonna be a blast. So we've had other a lot of the celebrities from the guests or from the show, the con on past shows. Like we had Bob Elmore, not Bill Elmore. Bob Elmore on. We had who else did we have on? Hal Havens.
Yep.
Hal was so fun.
Right.
We had a couple other people too, didn't we?
Well, we had Schwag, but now he's not doing it.
Brett
That's
Wagner.
why they got Bob Elmore.
Yeah, that's why.
Brett Wagner's a buddy of mine. We've done a couple of things together. It's funny because you say these guys have been really fun. The only people that should do conventions are people that are fun. If you don't want to do this, go someplace else. Go do something else. Because I met Mark McGuire one time in an airport.
Mm-hmm.
I see him there and I wait till he's completely alone. I wait till he's not busy, he's not eating. And my son happens to play the same number for the Cardinals on his local baseball team here in LA. And I said, Mr. McGuire, my name's Bill Perry. My son plays the same position as you. He's a big fan. I've just got this little scrap of yellow paper. Can I just ask you to say to Jack? And he looks at me and he goes, I don't do that shit.
Oh, man, that's so heartbreaking.
And I said, I promise I'm not selling it. He says, fuck off.
Dude, like a simple no would have sufficed, right?
No,
if you couldn't do it.
It wasn't like I was asking for him to sign a picture that I was going to go sell on eBay.
Or 10 of them like they
do.
do.
Say to Jack, it was going to be on a scrap of yellow paper.
Right.
And I have seen at conventions where certain actors were just not in the mood today, and they weren't very nice. I won't name names because I hate to think that I would. But I watched a guy walk away just crushed. And it's like, he just paid $80 for you to give him a picture, of a selfie, and 30 seconds of your time. Yeah. Now, if you can't do that with a big ass smile on your face, there's something wrong with you. And I was like the McGuire thing, it's like, you know what? Some people got into this game because they wanted to be, that person that kids look up to.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to be able to hit that home run and that was going to be their legacy. Mm-hmm. And if you have a legacy like that and you can't appreciate that people just want that moment with you just for 5 seconds, just to be able to say they met you, shook your hand. If you can't do that, get out. God, right. I love telling stories. I'm a storyteller from way back. I love telling somebody some tidbit from a film that they love that they never heard before. Because they go home and they watch it again. And I talked to the guy, and he told me, he told me you got to see the wires, man. They're so rough. Now that you see them, you can't unsee them, or whatever the thing is.
Like the toothpicks in Mrs. Voorhees' neck.
Right.
Once you know they're there, you see it so much. Before that, I never knew.
And
Well,
so,
that was before HD.
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
true
Yeah.
too.
but giving somebody that costs nothing, you know, and they'll go and watch the movie with their friends again, and it increases their enjoyment of a film they already loved.
Right.
And to be able to give that to somebody is so much fun, you know, because I tell them the story and they're like, no way. And it's like, I'm telling you, you'll watch it and you'll never unsee it. Like, oh my God, I can't wait till I get home. How cool is that? You know, to give somebody something that just blows their mind, you know, and for what? For 30 seconds of my time? Dude, if you don't want to do that, you know, then you don't appreciate how much fun you've had. You know?
No, and I'll tell you what, the majority thus far from my experiences
Same.
of the horror community have been very positive.
I've had nothing but good experiences with people that I haven't.
I was formerly in another life, so 20 some years ago, in the music business. Totally different story.
A
lot of politics and bullshit and but in the horror scene, everybody seems pretty cool for the most part.
I ran into a guy that at a convention that gets a bad rep for the way he treats people and how he is, and I had a very, very nice experience with him. It's Tom Savini, I'll say. You might not be able to say, but I'll say Tom Savini. A lot of people say he's kind of a jerk and everything. He was freaking awesome when I met him, man. I was with my kids. He was real nice to them. Took pictures with them, and like you know, I've heard bad things, but I can only speak about my experience. And I thought he was awesome.
Yeah, you know, and everybody has a bad day. You know, sometimes you know there's times you got to go to your job. You don't feel well. You got.
I deal with the public every day, and I have days like that.
Yeah, you're stressed out. Somebody at the office is being unfriendly, or can't be made happy today. So we all got to have those days. But I kind of look at it as somebody's paying money to come see me.
Right.
Give them the best. Give them the best you get, every time. Because this may be the one chance they get. And, I was at my last show in Ohio, and I wrote a couple of books. And this woman bought them and then bought copies for everybody in her family because she loved the book so much. And when the sequel came out, I said to her, she said, when you come back, I want you to come to dinner at my house. I'm like, oh my God. And I said, well, wait, before you do that, you really need to read book 2. You're not going to want to eat with me anymore. and she read it. And she said, oh, you talking about the scene with the wife? And I said, yeah. She goes, yeah, you can still come over. And because it has to do with the death of this guy's wife. And she wrote to me, Bill, every man thinks about killing his wife. You're not supposed to write it down.
It could be used as evidence against you in a court of law.
The first thing my son said after reading it was, I don't want to be the first place the police come after you disappear. Did you talk to your dad recently? Did he have anything? Was he talking about anything odd? And it's like, oh my God. But yeah, the people then, they were so friendly and so kind about everything, and just they were, people were writing to me for weeks afterward saying it was so much fun to meet you. I'm like, yeah, it's fun to meet you too. It's great to find people at a convention that just let their freak flag completely fly. They're in their community. They don't have to worry about anybody thinking funny things about them if they're dressed, in some crazy cosplay, or if they're just obsessing on shopping, or they're just geeking out on all the stars there. That's what it's for, and that's what I just love doing them, because people are just themselves and they're completely free to have fun and hang out, and that's just awesome. If you can find your tribe and hang out with them and just be yourself, go back to being a lawyer on Monday. This weekend, get weird.
And that's the beauty of the horror community, is the inclusivity of the horror community. No matter who you are, what walk of life, everybody's accepted. And as a guy that has went through a lot of things in life where I wasn't accepted, it's just great to have all these like-minded people around me. And I love doing it. This is gonna be actually going to be doing a live podcast at the convention.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have whoever like yourself who has time that can jump on and, talk to us there. We're going to kind of freestyle. We're not really sure. But we got that because Brett Wagner was supposed to do the convention. He was on our show before. Was he on the show to promote the convention or just on our show just because?
He was talking about the con.
Okay. So,
now he's filming something.
So, and then he ended up like filming something. So he got Bob Elmore to replace him. So he got him a Leatherface. And he talked to Zach, the promoter, and Zach got in contact with us, like, "Hey, we'll give you an hour in the room." And we were, we're pretty new at this, so the exposure and stuff's gonna be great. And we got a table there. We're gonna be selling some different things, and just we're kind of new to the convention scene anyway, because in Cleveland we don't really have a lot, and that's why we really need this one to be good. We need people to show up. We need it to. So we can
so hard.
Terror Con 2 and 3 and 4.
Yeah, it's incredibly hard to. I'm actually part of an event this weekend. It's a first timer where we're having all the cast of Nightmare 3 and 4 come out.
I seen that.
And it is
California though.
It is so hard to get people to commit to coming to these things anytime in advance. So there's this gamble that you get into where it's like, especially like I did 2 first-time one-day conventions in Ohio, and people are like, "Thank you for coming out. Thank you for doing this. I know this isn't a guaranteed huge payday for you." Right. And it's like, to me, the payday was never really. I need to make enough to make it worth the time.
Right.
And to me, doing this is the fun part. I really do enjoy talking to people. My kids are so tired of my movie stories; they hate me. And so when I go to a convention and people are like, "Tell me about, working with Freddy Krueger," and it's like, "Really? You really give a shit? Cool, okay." And I tell them the stories, and their eyes light up, and they're so excited. And it's fun to share that with them because I recognize, especially as being a stuntman, that this is an aspirational job to people all over the world. I mean, I knew it when I was doing that. People would give their right arm to do this for free.
Yeah.
And I get paid well to do something that is my dream, And so when people come out to talk to me about it, I make sure that they understand, it was exactly what you imagined it was. It has its downsides, but it has its great sides. And so they're just hanging on my every word, wanting to know, what was it like, And so I get to remind myself of how fortunate and blessed I've been throughout my career to work with the most amazing actors on the funnest shows that I thought were going to be forgotten. That are now, I thought
really big stuff, dude.
I have the record for how many times I've been killed by Freddy Krueger, and I was on Star Trek, and I did all these shows that were kind of like at the time nobody knew whether Star Trek was going to be a thing. Is this going to be a total shit show, and it's going to be just I wasn't sure the first episode would finish, much less the first season. And when you get to do those things, you don't know that they're going to be popular. And so now here we are 30 years later, 40 years later, and people are like, "Dude, you did legendary stuff." And it's like, well, when we did it, it wasn't legendary. When we did it, it was like a roll of the dice, man. We'll see what happens. But I do recognize how fortunate I've been to work on some really great, franchises. Home Alone,
Predator, Home Alone,
franchise, Nightmare franchise, Return of the Living Dead franchise. So many really, films that, and I was Wes Craven's web developer, another just lucky gig. So I got to work with Wes for a few years.
Cleveland's own.
What's that?
I said Cleveland's own, Wes Craven.
Yeah. And in fact, it told me some great stories about how Freddy Krueger was created out of an experience in Cleveland, that he went through. I worked with Michael Jackson and traveled all across Europe doing his Dangerous tour.
Wow.
Not just total right place, right time, luckiest guy, born with a horseshoe up my rectum. Just gave me a level of luck that people go, "How do you even live with yourself with all the cool gigs you've gotten?" It's like, I work my ass off, and it's a result of a lot of hustling and the ability to say, "Sure, I'll do it." Almost no matter what. I never say no.
Really hard with that horseshoe up there.
They're going through metal detectors. Wow, there's so much to explain. Where's the rest of this horse? In the front.
So you did stunts on like 3 different Nightmare movies. Did you ever were you ever a stunt double for Robert?
For who? For Robert? No. I doubled a guy named Ira Hayden, who was the Wizard Master.
I know Ira. Yep.
Yeah. I doubled Andrus Jones, who was the character of Rick in the karate scenes in 4.
I remember that.
In 6, a guy named Sean Greenblatt, who was in the opening sequence for this.
I don't know who he is.
Yeah, he was in the opening sequence of Nightmare 6. It's like a Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And Freddy's and he gets thrown out a window and falls to the ground.
He's the John Doe.
Window.
Right. He's the John Doe in the movie. The guy.
Yes.
He thinks he's the Freddy's kid, but he's not. And he's the false final girl. Yeah. Okay.
So
I like it. He hates it.
It's funny when I hadn't seen him in such a long time, and then a few weeks ago I got invited to an event here in LA where they were showing them on the big screen.
Nice.
And I hadn't seen it in all this time, and I watched 4 and 5. No, that's right, 3 and 4.
3 is the best.
And it was so much fun to see him on the big screen because I'd forgotten at the time. These things, making a horror movie is like watching paint dry while getting a dental, drilling. It's just not fun for the most part because it's very slow. But when you see the final product, it's fun, and you see yourself up there, and you go, my God, that's me, and it's everything I dreamt of when I was a kid. So when I watch them and people will say, which was your favorite? It's like, I don't want to invalidate somebody's favorite because I liked one more than the other. I watch them and it's like having different kids. Of course, my daughter's my favorite. Sorry, son.
Right. Exactly. Same.
It's clear. It's always been clear.
And by the way, the answer to that is part
you enjoy what you do. I mean, I would say I got to do more fun stunts on 3 than I did on 4 or 6, but I made the most money on 6. Because I did something that we had to do over and over and over. So you have your reasons that you remember them very affectionately. There's, I've done some movies that I look at and go, oh my God, that's a piece of. Oh, how can I? And then somebody comes up to me at con and says, oh, that was my very favorite movie. It was the first movie I saw with my dad. It was the first R-rated movie, and my mom was so pissed, and it was awesome that she was pissed. And, and so I don't want to invalidate their wonderful memory with telling them that I didn't enjoy it.
Well, a lot of times, even bad movies have a place. Like
sometimes
I like a lot of bad
movies.
I still love them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a thing I saw a meme somebody showed me the other day, and it said finding out that the very worst horror film that has ever been made is on in 5 minutes. And then you see them looking at their screen, with blood dripping from their eyes and tears. It's like, I know it's bad, but I love bad. Sometimes bad is great. You love them because they're bad, and because like there's one of the movies. I'm trying to think of the name. It opens on a big cruise ship, Ghost Ship.
Ghost Ship. Yeah, I just watched that for the first time.
For the worst movie of all time. But boy, didn't they hook you in that first 3 minutes, And then you go, man, am I wasting my time with this? I don't care anymore because the beginning was so damn good that it hooked you. So, hey, we can't all be Wuthering Heights here. Sometimes we got to make Plan 9.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, reference.
That's it.
They can't all be Plan 9 from outer space.
Yeah, or the other direction. Yeah, they can't all be. Did you ever see? There's a movie, The Beast Within, where a kid turns into a big cicada.
I think so.
I've heard of
it. Laughing. A good buddy of mine, a guy named Lee Waddell, who was the original Ghostface in Scream.
Yeah, I know him.
We grew up together, and I remember us watching that and watching this guy's head turn into a football and laughing. And it was supposed to be the scariest moment in the film, and we all but peed ourselves laughing because it's terrible. It was a stupid idea. It was a dumb movie, but we stayed till the very last second. There was no way we were leaving when we saw the guy's head turn into a football.
Right. It's the same like Gumball. Like I was talking about Gumball. You're gonna watch the whole movie.
It's a memory, a bad meal is a great story later.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so sometimes when I watch a really bad movie, it's like, well, there is a new worst movie of all time. Let's put that up on the top of the list. And now I've got something to compare the next piece of crap to. So, you enjoy it for what it is.
Absolutely.
If somebody tried really hard and
That's
just
the thing.
didn't
There's a
know what
lot
they
of
were
work and dedication that goes into these films, and so we don't like to hate on them too bad, because somebody really did put a lot of time and effort into this to make this work, even the bad ones.
I mean, there's a couple of movies by Wes Craven, and dare I say it, Wes Craven.
I'm one of the biggest Wes Craven fans in the world. There's some bad ones.
Oh, there's some turds in there that just stink up a cat box, and that's okay. I mean, Wes was a good guy, but sometimes, there's a big difference too between the film you wrote and the film you shot, and then the film that got edited, and then the film that came out.
Right.
I did a movie called License to Drive with the.
I love it.
Corey's.
I love it.
The movie we shot is nothing that you see. We shot an entirely different script, and then we used all the stunts and all the action shots to make an entirely different movie. The script I had has none of what. There was no grandpa's car. It was a whole other story. And when I went to see it, I'm like, what the hell?
Oh, wow.
What is this? And they just, I think it probably just did so badly in preview screenings that they shot new footage.
Yeah. That happens. And they'll just redo a bunch of stuff. And I don't know why they did it this way, but the DC movie, Justice League. Justice League.
Yeah.
They shot it one way, which was great, and then decided to do it a whole different way and released that. Everybody hated that. Then they released the Zack Snyder cut of it later, and everybody loved that, which they should have just put that out. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta trust. Sometimes you gotta trust the guy who wrote it and the trust because you liked what you saw when you read it. I just wrote my first screenplay, and the thing that terrifies me is giving it to someone else to do, because I know what this looks like. I know what I want. And so I've been working with a guy that just happened to meet him at dinner, a guy named Kevin Tenney, who had done Night of the Demons. Witchboard. And he's like, make it yourself.
Oh, he did Witchboard.
Don't let anybody have a piece of this. Own it entirely. If you got to film this thing for $50K, that's what you're going to do. Because you're gonna stay true to your vision, and you are going to make this your way. Don't let anyone own it. You'll hate yourself forever because it's a great story, and somebody else will absolutely screw this up and ruin it. And you're going to hate yourself because you're going to give the script away cheap, and then you can't do anything with it ever again. So I think I understand that now, and I understand why Wes did some crappy movies, because if he wouldn't do the crappy movie, they wouldn't let him do the good one.
Right. And a lot of those a lot of directors and writers are like that. Like Kevin Smith, he made that buddy cop movie so he can get the money to make
Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, with Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan, it's horrible.
Cop Out.
He made that so he can make Red State, which is absolutely amazing and the best Kevin Smith movie of all time. I don't care.
And that's it, because sometimes the studio, once you've had some success, like there's a lot of movies that Wes is associated with that he didn't do.
Yeah, they throw his name on stuff.
Yeah, because they knew if you said Wes Craven presents, then you know that you'll get foreign money, you'll get pre-sales of all the the foreign sales, and it'll give it enough movie to actually make the movie that you made. And then Wes is like, okay, I'll take my paycheck and I will make something I want to make.
Some of them are good, some of them not so much. Like his name was on Wishmaster, and I liked Wishmaster.
Yeah,
but
he promised. I have an interview with him where he promised there would never be another Scream after 3, and then he made 4, and he made 4 because Miramax said, if you'll make 4, we'll let you make Music of the Heart. And he wanted to work with Meryl Streep. I mean, who wouldn't as a director, right? And he wanted to make a movie that was going to be a non-horror film where finally people would say Wes Craven, the director, not Wes Craven, the horror movie director.
Right.
you know.
He also
But
saw
he knew, you know, he knew the reality of the business was, yeah, they know they're going to make money on Scream 4. They have no idea if they'll make money on Music of the Heart. So they're cutting their losses on Music of the Heart in advance by knowing they'll make money on Scream 4. And, you know,
money on Scream movies.
sometimes you make little compromises. It wasn't the worst movie ever, but, you know, it wasn't what Wes would have made. You know, Wes didn't like making sequels for the most part because
Right.
the problem with sequels is especially horror films, is it's an excuse to slice up teenagers.
Right.
The thing about Scream that was so good was it took all all the tropes and all the cliches and made the cast self-aware of all those cliches. And so when that movie came out, he was just like, you know, this is the script I've been waiting for most of my, my directing life. This is everything I want to make. And it showed. You know, it's possibly the most impactful horror film of the last 40 years. You know, and because it wasn't the same old slash spatter. You know, get a girl with big boobs, cut her throat, throw in a garbage can, whatever you gotta do. You know, he didn't like that. So he was involved in some of the extra Nightmare on Elm Streets, but it wasn't his vibe.
He had a writing credit for 3, but they really changed the script that he wrote anyway. But the only three Nightmare on Elm Street movies, I like them all, don't get me wrong, that I consider great is 1, 3, and New Nightmare, which all have his name on it.
Yeah.
Well, 3 was Chuck Russell and Frank Darabont.
Yeah,
went on to make the Shawshank fucking Redemption 6 years later. You know,
another Northeast Ohio tie.
Obviously, that guy can write.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
He created The Walking Dead. Few people might have heard of that.
Well, you know, what most people don't know is Wes did a lot of Disney. In fact, the very first TV show I ever worked on, first show I worked on of any kind, was for Wes, doing a show called Casebusters as the Thursday night Disney movie of the week.
Oh,
and
wow.
He did a lot of episodic television because he wanted to work, and, you know, you can't always do the work you want to do. And he wanted to be seen as a real director. And so he did stuff that was non-genre stuff because he wanted people to recognize, you know, his abilities outside of just scaring the poop out of you. And scaring the poop out of him was something he loved to do. You know, I mean, I used to love watching Wes make a movie because it was like somebody playing with like G.I. Joes. I've got my actors now, and I got my sets, and I got my music, and I got the special effects. Now, everybody do what I tell you to do. This is going to be awesome. You know, and when he knew he was going to scare the crap out of you, he would just have that shit-eating grin on his face like, oh, man, they're never going to see this coming. And so he was anticipating the reaction, you know, that was going to happen in the movie theater while he was still making it, you know, and it just gave him this giddy little joy. You know, people ask what it was like to work with him. It's like you never saw anybody as happy working. Even in the stressful moments, he never let the vibe of the set become stressful because he knew that wasn't going to work. That was not going to make a good film. People had to be there, happy to be there, doing their best work. And so he always kept the mood very light because he was having fun. You know, you spend a year trying to get a movie made, and then you got 9 weeks to shoot it. So enjoy those 9 weeks because that's the only 9 weeks you get where this is still fun. You know, then you got to go in the editing room, you got to argue, and you got to, you know, have the studio's going to give you shit, and you're gonna fight for every last line that you wrote. So making is the fun part, and to be with him when he was doing that was always a blast. Always having a good time.
So you in part 3, you said you were the Wizard Master stunt double. Do you have that you're going to be signing there? Do you have photos of you in that scene?
Yes.
Because I need one of those because I have a friend that is the absolute biggest Nightmare on Elm Street fan on the planet.
Yeah.
And he does a Halloween Haunts 365, a podcast about haunted houses and stuff. And that is his absolute least favorite character in the history of the franchise. And so I'm going to get him a picture, have you sign it, and write something funny to him. I'll make it something cool for you to write.
Oddly enough, though, that might be his least favorite character, but that is his favorite movie in the franchise.
Oh, of course. It's everybody's favorite movie, not mine. It's my favorite movie.
And I'll tell you why that is. It's the last one they did where they did fully practical special effects.
Okay.
there's something about that, between the, Karen's little mouths in her arm, and the tears open and you see the mouths and the souls. Everything was done practically. Even the big Freddy penis that attacks Patricia Arquette. I mean, it was really good. That's a huge. Oh, did I call it a penis again? Yeah, it's penis.
I was one. I didn't think I heard you right. And I was like, no, I did.
Yeah, it's a penis. There's a great story that goes with that too, where they bring this thing out and it's a dick. I mean,
yeah, they had to paint it because it wasn't going to fly.
And we're all looking at this thing, and somebody makes a joke, and it's the scene where it's chomping. Yeah. Well, they shot that in reverse, where it's actually walking away as opposed to her going inside. And somebody starts laughing, and then it's kind of making its way around the room. Somebody in the rafters, some lighting guy makes this joke, and it makes it down to where we're standing, and everybody's giggling, and Chuck's not in a good mood. And so he says, "What? It's so fucking funny." And somebody in the rafters says, "That's the first time I ever saw a penis eat a girl to get into a movie." So now we are laughing. And he's like, "If you guys can't stop laughing, get out." And we all left.
Yeah.
We come back in and it's like, the teacher's mad and it's not okay to laugh. But then somebody starts, they start giggling again. And it's like, now you can't stop, And so he's like, somebody get something to make that look not like a dick. So they get this, they get this green goop, slather it in that, then the giggling starts again. And it's like, now what's so funny? It's like, your junk has some funk on it, dude. And then everybody starts laughing again. And he's like, all right, if you're, everybody out of here, I don't want to hear one more, So we all had a good laugh. Sorry, Chuck. In the moment, it was the funniest thing I'd ever heard.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, but the practical special effects were a big deal. Between that and, just everything that they did, the puppet thing with that was practical. There was a little bit of CGI and some special effects in there, but for the most part, 99% of it, and it was the most expensive Nightmare movie made as well. I think they put $13 million into the budget for that, where all the other ones were $2 or $3 million at most. So they decided they were going to put it out there, and then after they made 3, they go, "We didn't make any more money with a $13 million budget than we did for a $3 million budget. We're never going to put that kind of money in again," and they never did. So when I did 6, it was right back down to guerrilla filmmaking in a real low budget sense, and it's still good, still fun to make, still fun to watch, but they recognized putting more money into it doesn't make it better.
No, absolutely not.
I never really.
Sometimes it's the creativity that comes with having to work cheap.
I never really thought about the budget aspect of 3, but I feel like with that one, just all the cards fell into place the right way.
Yeah, it was a good story, a good cast, and it took a different tack. The idea that you could actually, that Freddy wasn't omnipotent, that you could actually fight him. Was good because otherwise it's the same movie over and over.
See, and my thing with that one is too, it's the perfect combination of scary and funny Freddy.
Yeah.
Whereas in part 2, they just tried to go full scary.
And
then after 3, I felt like they went too goofy.
Too funny.
Yeah, the taglines after a while. Yeah. I mean, okay, I'm just gonna say it. Nobody's listening, right? When the gal that has the fascination with TV, welcome to prime time, bitch. Okay, I get it. Great line. So they buried her from her suicide. How does someone in a suicide jump up 3 feet in the air, shove their head far enough into a TV that they actually either crash their skull or hang themselves?
And we're talking about them tube TVs. You can drop those things off a bridge, they don't break.
Exactly. So when people said, "Oh, that's my favorite scene," it's like, I understand the suspension of disbelief. It's a movie. It's not a documentary. I get it. But that was the most, they lost me after that scene. I'm like, well, that's just ridiculous. She didn't kill herself. And then one of them, the kid ends up inside his waterbed.
Yeah.
How did you climb through? How did you climb through the hose? You know, I get it. There's a supernatural element, but everybody's like, no, it's a suicide. He climbed inside of a waterbed somehow, and you're going, oh, well, we're just going to let that plot hole go. Who the hell is writing this crap? So,
Well, that's horror for the most part. You know that it's not going to make sense. You just got to go with it. You got to accept that it don't make sense.
When I see you guys in Ohio,
yes,
come by and get a copy of my book. My book makes sense.
All right. Well, we'll read it. We'll review it on the show.
I will give it to you. I mean, I can send it to you now. It's an audio book. It's an actual physical book. It's everything. I will send it to you. And if it doesn't traumatize you.
Oh, we're talking like that. Okay.
Oh, it's disturbing as hell. People go, you're so funny. Your book is not funny. There's not a single freaking funny thing. That is so disturbing. I had to stop reading because it was like, what is wrong with this guy? And I'm like,
how much I
traumatized you is, they go, why knowing that this traumatized me? Why does this make you happy? It's like, because it's mine.
Yeah.
You know,
how much are you selling the books for?
The books, I think, are $6.
Oh, wow, only $6?
It's very short. It's
I'm definitely gonna buy one. Don't send me one up. I'll pick one up from your booth. And
every book, and it's about an hour, either as an audio book or as a Kindle book. But if you get the actual book, it's about an hour's read. But every time people read it, they're like, you know, why was it so short? And I said, this is not a place I like to go.
Right, exactly.
This is the darkest,
I'm
most disturbing thing
interested, so
I could possibly imagine.
I get a couple of different gifts.
Yeah, living in that place where you actually have to imagine these things is very hard, you know. And so the book's they're going to come out with a new version, come out in February, where they're going to combine the two books because one is a sequel to the other, but they're going to let me expand the way I wanted to expand and make the stories. The mayhem is beyond. I'm sort of ashamed that I can actually imagine stuff this sick and twisted. But when you give yourself that opportunity, go, you know what? I'm going to go there. I am going to go so far overboard that people are going to question my sanity. Then when they read it, they're like, "Oh, dude, God!" And they just drop the book because they don't want to see another word for a while. How can you not be happy with that? That's what horror is.
Right.
You know, and I love the fact that one of the guys called me in the ending and he's like, you got to explain the ending. And I said, what do you think? And I know what I think. I need to know definitively what the fuck happened. And I said, I'm not going to tell you. He goes, why? And I said, because I don't want to ruin it. You are absolutely traumatized and I love that. And I don't want to take any of that away.
And that's something in horror that doesn't happen enough anymore.
Yeah, I don't want a Scooby-Doo ending that you saw coming. Like, oh, so it was Mr. McGregor, and you know, and I'd have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids. You know, I don't want anything. I want you to be at the ending and go, no way. Oh, that sucked. You know, I want you to be so bothered and disturbed by the ending that it sits with you and you talk to your friends about it. Not because, you know, it's not a pat on the back to me. It's that's what it's for, you know,
right,
and to know that I've accomplished that makes me very happy. You know, I like to know that something I created out of my own little psyche had an effect on you where it really, you cared about the characters. You cared what happened to them. You gasped, you know, at one point, you shook your head and dropped the book at another point. That's what it's about. You know, that's the fun part. And it's like performing for an audience that you'll never hear the applause. You know, because people write reviews later and go,
right,
dude, so fucked up. And it's like, cool. But you know, when I wrote it, I had that reaction myself. And so I really hope that when other people read it, they have the same reaction I had. And, you know, if they write about it and they go on, you know, Amazon and write a nice review, great. I think on Amazon I make like 18 cents when somebody buys the book. It's not about the money. It's about you know, writing something that's satisfying to somebody, and it's about writing something where somebody is affected by it and really enjoyed. as much as you can enjoy something that makes you question, who the hell that freakazoid was that wrote that gnarly, disturbing shit. But that's fun. So yeah, come on by and get a copy. I would love to have you guys read it.
We're definitely going to do that. We're definitely going to come by, and we're going to try to get you over if you get time to come on our live podcast. We'll get into a little bit more depth and stuff we couldn't do today. But we've been going for about an hour and a half. We usually only go for an hour. So, but we had a big show. No, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But we had a big show tonight. We had like 5 guests. It's the first time we ever tried this. It worked out perfect because everybody was popping in. Because I didn't want to have everybody on at once because that would have been too chaotic. I wanted to get in, talk about what you're doing at the con, get out, and get to the next guy. And it all worked out so perfect. We couldn't have planned this better.
One last thing I'll throw at you. I'm bringing my People Under the Stairs, full wardrobe, makeup, mask, everything, made by a local boy, Jordan, who won Face Off. He made my suit for me and my mask. It's as close to film used as you will ever find in your whole world. And I'll be doing photo ops. So if you're a fan of that movie and I hear that people love it,
I love it.
Come on out and you'll see the freakiest damn thing ever.
Yeah, no doubt. That sounds awesome. So we're gonna have photo ops with that, signatures with celebrities. Bill Perry's gonna have all kinds of books and cool stuff, and it's just gonna be a blast. And I just hope that everybody shows up and shows out for this thing so we can have more of them. And it's going to be awesome.
Zach has worked his ass off on this thing. He has done, he and I've had these nice long talks where he talks about how he wants to make the fan experience unlike other conventions.
Right.
In all the positive ways, but also making sure that as a guest, that my experience is equally as positive. Nobody goes to this much trouble. Nobody tries this hard to make sure that the experience is, every vendor, every guest, every attendee has been thought through to make sure that this is the best experience ever. He doesn't, he said, I'm not going to say he doesn't want to make money, but he's like, I just want this to be everything. If I don't make, big money on this, it doesn't matter. I just want to give our community something that they haven't had before. Something really quality with good people, great vendors, and a great experience for everybody. And I'm just telling you, most promoters don't go to this much trouble. Zach is a saint and a cool guy. And I really hope people honor the hard work that he's put into it and come out, because he's done everything to make you happy as best he can. And he's a smart guy and he knows what people want. And I just really believe if people show up, the only thing missing is a huge crowd. Right. And the bigger the crowd, the more fun it is, because, you want to see shitloads of people in cosplay. You want to see a bazillion vendors that are selling weird, cool, fun stuff. He's really done all that. All we need is guests now. And all we need is the people to come up and enjoy it. And I know if there's enough of them, that's going to be a done deal because he's done all the hard work.
Hell yeah. So, yeah, awesome, man. So, again, Bill, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for taking the time. We're going to see you next week on a Friday and Saturday, August 16th and 17th. Get your tickets now at Eventbrite. You can go through the Ohio Terror Con page. And Big Bob is the code. Put Big Bob as the code because Zach smokes a lot of weed. He forgot to take the discount code off for Big Bob. For Bob Elmore, he has a discount code. You put his name in, Big Bob, and you get I don't remember the percentage, but you get a good percentage off. I think it's 24.
Come on out, everybody! I promise you're going to have a good time. The more, the better. And thank you guys for having me on. It's been a total hoot.
Definitely. Awesome, brother. Awesome, brother. All right, so we're going to get you out of here, and we're going to close out the show, and we'll talk to you next week, brother.
Be good, man. Take care.
Man.
All right. So that went way better than we could have ever hoped.
Yeah. We didn't even draw it up that way. As soon as I'm done opening that
box. We kind of wanted it to be that way, just worked out. Like we started the show and then I wasn't sure if anybody was going to even come on, and they started to pop in, and right as soon as we were finishing up with the guy before him,
Ed, James, Tiki, and then
just worked out. Like I did not schedule anybody. I told him I'm going to send you the invite at 6:45. Come in whenever you get a second. We'll get you in. We'll get you out. If you want to stay for the whole time, stay for the whole time. Whatever. And it just man. It's almost like these guys communicated with each other to make this work.
Yeah, I swear they did all the production. We just
something, man. I'm just so shocked that went so perfect.
Like the order 2, you had 2 filmmakers.
Yeah.
And then Tiki was kind of like the cool down match.
Yeah, the cool down match.
And then my stupid box was the bathroom break.
Yeah.
And then we had the main event.
And we got to do everything we wanted to do tonight. Tornado be damned. They can't stop us. So
they can only hope to contain us.
Yes. So for those of you that are still here, because there may be a couple, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for all the people that were here earlier and have left. And check this out on iTunes, Facebook, YouTube, all that shit. Get your friends to subscribe to all that stuff. Subscribe to our guest things that we put up. That the different pages is up. Subliminal Ed, his thing. I forget the other guys' names, and we'll talk about them later. Come and see us August 16th and 17th, Ohio Terror Con. Get tickets now. Get the weekend pass. Come for the whole weekend. There's too much to do in one day anyway. We're going to be Friday, so come on Friday, especially if you're local.
Friday afternoon.
And come and see us Friday afternoon. Do our live podcast. I don't know what we're going to do, but he does. Okay, but I got enough of an idea to know that even if no guest comes on, we will be able to have fun and make this happen. As long as I got a couple people in the audience to talk to or to watch us, we'll have a camera to videotape some shit, and we'll put that up later on our channel. And just going to be a blast, man.
There may or may not be a guest or two in that audience that might come up with us, too.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. But
I scheme and scam.
Yeah, we're making this work. We're making this work. But I don't know, man. We're hour and 40 minutes. I knew it was going to be a long show. I kind of expected it to go close to 2 hours. I even thought about starting early.
Yeah.
But this worked out. Everything just worked out. I'm really happy with tonight. Usually I go watch the Dive podcast after us. He's been on for 41 minutes anyway, and I have no internet or electricity at home, saying I have to drive 45 minutes. So I'll have to catch the replay of Charles's show. But that's all I got, man. What you got?
Yeah, next week's going to be a fun one, too. Mm-hmm. The night before the con.
Oh, God, yeah, I got to promote that.
I definitely got to put Bobby over.
Yeah. So next week we're going to do something a little different. We're going to have a watch along of Victim No More. It's free on YouTube. You can watch it for free before, after, during. He's going to be promoting Victim No More 2, which sounds really cool. We're going to talk to him about that while the movie's playing.
Loose Ends.
Loose Ends. That's the name of it. Yep. Yeah. That is the name of it. Because there was, if you watch the movie, there is a lot of loose ends in the movie, and he knew that from the beginning and always had this plan. So this is good. And it's going to be fun. Somebody else commented, Rob, St. John's Michigan Jason says, you guys are great. Hopefully you can get to Cleveland next week, buddy. And
it's not too far for you.
You might be able to take home another cosplay trophy. Right. There's a cosplay contest. I don't know if it's Friday or Saturday. I'll message you later, or you can message Ohio Terror Con and check them out. But yeah,
if Zach has internet.
Is that yeah? Well, like as Tiki said, he keeps coming up there to charge his phone and get on there and do whatever he can. But yeah, so and then the week after that, as you can see by the ticker below, we're going to have Jordan Wincheck on. He is he's an actor at a haunted house, the best haunted house I've ever been to, Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse. Mm-hmm. Just because I can't remember the name right doesn't mean it's not the best haunted house.
Chippewa Lake is awesome.
I always keep saying Chippewa Falls, but no, if you're a Texas Chainsaw fan, God, this is a religious experience. It's so cool. And he works there, and he also does Dark Matter. Follow that on Facebook. A lot of our followers already have, and he makes cool props and things that you might want to hang around your house. I picked up a leather face mask from him. It's not a movie leather face mask. It's just like a skin somebody's face mask, and he did such a great job with it. His prices are very reasonable. I think they're too low. I think he needs to jack up his prices. But before he does that, hit up his Etsy store, buy some shit from him. But he'll be on to talk about all the stuff he's doing the week after Bobby Heckman. And that is all I got. Now I'm done. And what do you got?
I got an idea for August 29th, too, but we can talk about that.
We'll talk about that off air. All right, cool.
But yeah, that's about it, man. Long episode tonight. Almost as long as a Vincent DeSanti interview. Not quite.
It was almost as hard to get words.
Not quite. But that was still great, though. He was a great guest.
Yeah, he was. He was awesome. I can't wait to talk. Oh, Vincent too. Yeah, I was talking about Bill, but I can't wait to talk to Bill some more at the event.
Yeah, definitely check out our Vincent DeSanti interview in the archives if you have 10 hours to spare. No, but that was really informative. But yeah, that ties in too to next week because Bobby on another Friday the 13th filmmaker.
Yep.
So, and that should be good, man. I always wanted to do like a live director's commentary.
Right, and this was his idea for this.
The concept was mine, but he booked the guest. So
Yeah.
there you go. So it'll be a little 50-50. It should be interesting. I've never seen it done before. Like a live director actually doing a commentary live.
No, yeah, I was going to say DCS with Vincent's movie, they played it live and they talked some about it. But Vince
But not
wasn't
the
on
director.
that podcast.
Right.
He was on before and after.
Right.
So you might be right. This might be one of the
I've
first
never
times.
seen it done.
Hey man,
Yeah,
he might use it and add it to his Blu-ray as a special feature. That'd be
It's cool
pretty
with
cool.
me, man.
That'd be pretty cool.
It's cool with me.
You make me buy another copy of that from him.
I'll make sure to shave that day so I'm not gray.
But right on, man.
But yeah, everyone out there that didn't get to watch this live and sees it later that doesn't have power, thinking of you guys right now. It's been a rough couple of days in the environment I work in too. It's just people are frustrated and yeah, it's tough times right now. And I'm thinking of everybody out there. Everybody lost a lot of groceries and things like that. Times are tough right now. My thoughts are with you. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
We'll see everybody next weekend and for our show next week. And until then.
There goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood.